Hey guys, it's Stephen here on Friday evening. Looking forward to tomorrow's game. How are you all doing today? Hope you've had a wonderful week and you're about to have a wonderful weekend as well. Fingers crossed. City play Burnley tomorrow in the FA Cup. It's underway for us and I'm looking forward to it. Though unfortunately, I'm actually at my niece's first birthday tomorrow, so I'm going to miss most of the game. I say unfortunately, looking forward to seeing her little face on her first birthday. But I will be watching it eventually, but my match reaction will be a little bit late. I think that's understandable though, given the importance of the event. I've also got opinions as well from Burnley YouTuber and FIFA expert VIZEH coming up later on, so watch out for his preview in the opposition preview bit, as you can see on the screen at the bottom. But for now, I want to talk about this game because this is a good chance for us to get a nice, comfortable route through to the next round. Now, Burnley obviously aren't a pushover, but they have been struggling a little bit this season, so I think we'll take it quite seriously if we're being honest. In the press conference, everything that Pep said seemed to imply that as well. Now, he said he's going to play a strong team tomorrow, capable of beating Burnley, and even if Burnley do put a few changes out there, given the fact that they've got other priorities at the moment, given their league form being pretty dire and the fighting relegation, I still think they'll be up for it. I still think they'll battle quite well. They did obviously come to us last season in the FA Cup and we beat them at a very similar stage of the competition. And I expect this season it'll be probably a similar situation, but I'll get onto the prediction later, obviously. Now, also, there's a few takeaway things from the press conference. Pep described the idea of City winning quadruple once again as a fantasy. He laughed that off as he did last season, and rightfully so, because it's absolute nonsense to keep pushing this really weird agenda. They want him to say yes, so then they can laugh at him later on. It's a bit silly. We all know we're not going to win a treble, but we'll just take a few trophies here and there. He also once again denied for the billionth time that City will be signing anyone in January. Whether that's a good idea or not, I don't know, but it looks increasingly obvious that he's telling the truth here. I don't think we'll go anyone until summer, really. I think the summer will be big moves for us, and I think for whatever reason, we're kind of running scared of financial fair play a little bit, and we're just going to make do with the squad we've got. And to be honest, once the injuries start to clear up, as they're already starting to do now with Mendy and so on back, I think the injuries will see the squad kind of flourish a little bit. We'll have the full strength of depth, and we'll be leaving players out all the time if we sign anyone, so I think this is very much a summer thing. In terms of the team news, Pep did say that pretty much everyone is there, essentially. He thinks maybe everyone except Vincent Kompany, who's got a little bit of a knock still, and he said some players did have problems after the Burnley game, but they should be okay, and obviously that means we've got a very strong team to choose from. He also said that no academy players will be involved, so we're taking it seriously. We're going to go for the very strong team. This isn't the Carabao Cup when we're 9-0 up. No Pervade, no Garcia, that lot, as well as they did, it's likely that they'll be sat out and waiting for the next EDS game, which is probably sensible given the fact that we're going to have to play some players here, because even our backup team is still really strong. It doesn't need academy players in this. I would have liked to maybe see one or two on the bench, but maybe if we get through to the next round, we'll see one or two there. But given the fact that we want to get far in this trophy, we want to win the FA Cup. Pep hasn't won the FA Cup before, and I'm not surprised at all that he's taking this very seriously. Onto the lineup, if I was to guess it, well, it's going to be Ederson in goal. I think personally we'll see a start for Kyle Walker at right back. I think he will start there, and then I think we'll see a little bit of rotation in defence. I think we'll actually see Delph at left back for the first time in a while. I personally don't think Mendy is not fit. I don't think he's fit enough yet personally to play this kind of game. I think we'll kind of slowly ease him back, and that's what we need to do. It'd be silly to put him in against Burnley for 90 minutes after only having 20 minutes back after a very rough patch of injuries, shall we say. So I think it'll be Delph and Walker at full back. I think Danilo will sit this one out. And then in defence, I actually think we'll go for our strongest defence in terms of Laporte and Stones. Could see Mendy there, given the fact that there is rumours that he's unhappy at the moment in terms of not happy with his game time. But for me, I think Laporte and Stones needs games together, and given the fact that they've got Rondon to play against Newcastle soon, he's quite a physical striker. If he's fit, I think he is fit. If you're going to play him, I can see Mendy maybe starting that one, and that would make a lot of sense as well. So I think it'll be Stones and Laporte to kind of partner at the back there. I think as well we'll also see Fernandinho back into the team. Obviously he's had a bit of a rest now. He'll start this game, and then in front of him I can see Kevin De Bruyne actually dropping out the side a little bit. I think we'll see Bernardo Silva and David Silva starting with De Bruyne on the bench. You could play him again for rhythm, but I actually think it'll be those two. And then I think on the right we'll see Raheem Sterling, on the left Leroy Sané, and through the middle Gabriel Jesus is my actual prediction there. I think Aguero was largely kind of poor versus Burton. He was okay, but I think he could have done more. But I think he will start against Newcastle because he always scores against Newcastle. So Gabriel Jesus will start, in my opinion, up through the middle. We could maybe even see some variant there. We could even see Kevin De Bruyne play, and actually Bernardo Silva on the right, not Mahrez. I know that sounds crazy, but I think that could actually happen. But I'm still going to stick to Sterling, Sané, Gabriel Jesus as our lineup there. And the bench will be really, really strong. I'll leave you to guess that bit. Don't forget as well, let me know your lineup predictions below. And on to Burnley. before we get onto the preview from VIZEH, the Burnley YouTuber, a very nice lad, very energetic lad. I look at the results and the form at the moment. Now, they've had a very difficult season. After last year when they were the best of the rest in terms of outside the big six, and they were really good. Sean Dyche had a great season. It was for many people's choice of manager of the year. That was obviously Guardiola, let's be honest. This season has been a crash down to earth for them. Reality has kind of struck really hard. Though recently, they're actually on a decent run of form. They've actually drawn Watford away, which isn't too bad. Watford are in good form at the moment. They beat Burnley at home. They beat Barnsley in the FA Cup third round. Then they beat Huddersfield away from home. Beat West Ham 2-0, which is decent. And then before that, they were tonked 5-1 by Everton. But that recent run of form is actually quite promising. There is an argument to say that they're maybe going to be up for this, and they're maybe going to try and go to City, fearing absolutely nothing, knowing they've got nothing to prove to anyone. And in general, they can actually go for it. Though, having said that, they have got Manchester United on Tuesday night away at Old Trafford, so they might rest a few players for this one and see that league game was more important, which would also be sensible. They could rest a few first-team players and actually put the strongest team out at United and hopefully try and get a point there, because obviously United at the moment are in good form, so they could see that as a more of an opportunity to actually kind of get some points and kind of, I don't think they'll sacrifice this game, but you know, it hasn't gone well for them at the Etihad recently, and this could be another game where they think it's probably not worth the effort. But anyway, let's go on to the Burnley fan, VIZEH, and see what he thinks of this actual game.
Hey guys, my name is VIZEH, and I'm a Burnley fan, as you'll probably presume. And this is, you can only presume what my kind of idea is about this game coming up, which is a Manchester City versus Burnley game, which I've been to City this year when we lost 5-0 and went to City in the FA Cup last year in the same round. Was it same round? It doesn't really matter. Which we lost 4-1, but we were 1-0 per half time. And I remember that because I think it was like the first team like so far that season that actually ended up winning at half time, which of course we lost 4-1, so it didn't really matter. However, in the cup, anything could happen, and I'm hoping that you'll at least see us score a goal, which I'll be more than happy with. Our lineup probably going to be quite similar to our normal league kind of lineup, because you know it's a very good opposition to try and test players in. Expect Dratman Neal to be the main kind of player for us. He's been a rising star for us recently, and he's got a few tricks up his sleeve, which for us as Burnley fans, we are very excited by, because we don't really have that. So yeah, Dratman Neal, he's probably a one to look out for this game for Burnley side of things. For Man City, I expect them to be solid as what they usually are. So not gonna lie, for me, honest opinions, I'd be happy if it's like a 3-1 loss. But if we score a goal and we don't get bummed, I'm happy with that. So yeah, that's my predictions, and yeah, see you guys on Saturday.
Beautifully put there. Thanks very much, mate, for coming on the channel there. Pumped. Love how he put that. So succinct, so poetic. But anyway, he's a lovely guy. Go check out his channel, link in the description below. And I think he probably sums up how most Burnley fans are feeling in terms of they're not going to take it too seriously and they're not expecting too much. And that's probably a wise and sensible choice. Now, for me, I'm always slightly apprehensive about games like this, because I think it's very easy to take your eye off the ball. We've got obviously a big game on Tuesday with Newcastle, and I think this is the kind of game where if we're not careful, we could really slip up quite easily. But I suspect that Pep will get into the players. Now, you can't obviously use the Burton game the other day as an example of our form, because that was just such a weird mishmash of players there, and it was such a dead game that in general it didn't really matter how we played. But this is actually important. Now, given the fact that loads of the players who are going to play in this game, pretty much all of them wouldn't have been involved the other night, I'm expecting this to be a very fresh team. I'm expecting them to be really, really motivated and up for it. And if we don't in general see signs of the players being focused and coming out from the off and really trying to get an early goal, then I think Pep won't be happy at all, and I think he'll be quite aggressive with them at half time if necessary. But having said that, I still think they'll be really focused. I'm going to say we'll win this one. I think 3-1, like VIZEH said, that's a decent result for Manchester City. I think they might score, though. Having said that, at the moment, we're actually not conceding goals for the first time in a while. Though I can see them scoring. I don't know why. It's just the kind of team that scores against us. Burnley are that kind of team. I can just see, I don't know, someone like Tarkowski somehow score a screamer, because someone always scores a screamer against Manchester City, and he's got that on him. Maybe even Ben Mee against his old club might get a go. Also, as well, I don't think we're going to see Joe Hart. I think he'll be denied a chance to play, which would have been lovely. I would love to see Joe Hart rock up with the Etihad again. That would have been really nice to see him there. But, you know, life isn't always perfect. But yeah, I'm going to go for a nervous kind of 20 minutes, and then I think we'll come into it. Then I think we'll get a goal, and after that I think we'll stroll for about half an hour, 40 minutes of game time, eventually pulling loose. Maybe they'll get a late consolation. I'm going to go for Bernardo to have a really good match if he starts, if he plays. Watch him not play now. Bernardo to have a good match, score a goal, and then Jesus to get 2. That's my prediction. Goals and all and everything like that. Guys, I want to know what you think of this game. What your prediction is going to be. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget as well, if you are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe. I also want to say thank you to all these names scrolling down the side of the screen here. These are my patrons who support this channel. I would love to one day hopefully go full time. And all the support I get from you guys, it really does mean the absolute world to me. If you want to get involved in certain tiers in terms of if you get a shout out or get involved in the monthly Q&A that I do for $10 patrons, all you have to do is go to patreon.com/Esteemed Kompany. Anyway guys, let me know your scores and your predictions and all that kind of stuff in the comments below, and I will see you soon.